Hello, I want to show in this video how to exploit a data of the curve that is in a figure. For example, I want to getting the data of this curve that is in this figure, and for doing this I want to using of the software that's name is Getdata graph. For using of this software, I must uploading and importing this image to this software with opening the image. Now I must select the image, this image. The first step for using of this software is setting X and Y axis minimum and maximum value. We set the scale. I can setting X axis minimum and maximum value. Now I setting X axis minimum value, that is 0. Now in this window I importing the 0 value and OK. After that OK, and now I determine the maximum value of X axis, that is 8 millimeter, and importing 8. Now OK. After that, doing this process for X axis, minimum value is 0.1 millimeter. For Y axis minimum, and the maximum value of the Y axis is 0.18 millimeters. Okay, and I okaying the adjust scale window. Now okay. After that, there's 3 methods are available for getting the data in this software: auto, trace, and digits area, and point chapter. These 3 methods are available for getting the data. Now I want to using the method 1 or auto. Now I clicking any area of this curve and getting the data. After clicking on any area in the curve, I getting the data, and this data is showing in the window that is right side of the Getdata software on the data tab. Now I have a few points that must not be selected. So for unselecting this point, I use of erasing now, and erasing now, and erasing this point for unselected. So I have the data of this curve that's showing in the data tab in this window now, and I can copy this data into another software. For example, Microsoft Excel. In the next method, I want to divide in the x-axis to a smaller part with setting in this window, and getting the data of the curve in this point with dragging the start and end of the curve with this, and that's showing in this now start and the end of the point of the curve. Now I have the data of the curve with this method that they show in data tab, such as auto trace method. In this method I have a few points that must not be selected and must be raised. That's now I raising this method with the raise. The point chapter method is time consumed and accurate rather than two previous methods for getting the data. In this method, we can getting the data with pointing in the exactly on point data on a curve. After getting the data, this curve with any of these three methods, now I want to exporting this data, the data of this curve, to another software, for example, to Microsoft Excel. For exporting data, I must go to File and selecting the Export Data, and after selecting the direction and importing the file name, I must in the Save as Type section. In this section I must selecting the XLS or MS Excel for selecting this data to Excel format.